Good morning, everyone. 8Bits here with a happy Saturday, and it's because I don't work, and I remember what day it is, so we're good. That's 2 wins just on the first day. Welcome in, Brent. You are first. Homeless, you were so close. So close. Just didn't get it. Oh. Anyways, I have been looking up. I've been watching the Valve machine. On your screen, it shows you first? Okay. I don't know. I want one of these when it comes out. Right? One of the new Steam boxes. I like everything about it. I like everything about Valve, right? And Steam. I don't know. I know it's going to be like 800 somewhere in there for it. I saw some reports that it may even be down to like 600, probably for the low model, right? But I really want one. Yeah. I don't know why. I just do. So, what has everybody been up to? Let's see. At the end or at the beginning of this week, so on Monday, I finished off my RPG project. Right? So we have a working game that has 3 different quests, 3 biomes, a bunch of NPCs wandering around, a store, an inventory system, a journal system. Yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff, which is pretty good for a 3-month project, right? And if you haven't played it, it's free, and it's browser play, right? I haven't uploaded a download or anything yet. I'm just going to let it sit on browser play for a while. Some of the font's a little funky on browser play. I don't really know why, but I tried to fix it. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's fine, right? Just ignore the font. Outside of that, it's good, right? Kelvar, welcome in. Good morning. We were briefly talking about the Steam box, which is both PC, Steam box, like Valve system, right? I like that they're also like somewhere on here. I saw it. It's also a PC, right? You can install your own apps. You can install another operating system if you want. I think that's pretty cool that they're allowing and having that stuff to be done. Yeah. Oh, I know what we're missing. Some music, right? There we are. Brent, so it can run Microsoft Office and stuff? Yes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it can. It's a regular little PC. It runs on Steam OS, so it's optimized for gaming, but like as far as I understand from reading this, it is essentially your own PC, right? You can install different apps. So I'm assuming you might be able to. Yeah. And everything's going to be built for it, right? So the Steam Deck works off of it. Controller support works on there. You got VR that'll work with it. All Valve stuff works together. And like I said, I kind of want it. If you haven't read it or looked at it, here. That's the link to what I'm looking at. I think it's going to be good. Especially with the price of graphic cards going up, memory. So the different memory chips that you want, that stuff's going up like crazy. I mean, geez, a 5090 is now going to be almost $5,000. It's just at about 3 right now. 2,500, 3,000, and it's still climbing. So, yeah, I think it'll be cool. I know Microsoft is trying to come out with a new Xbox. They say it all the time. It's going to be a both, right? It's going to be a PC with Windows and optimized for gaming, right? Because it'll play all the Xbox stuff. We'll see. The new one that is slated for 2027 is supposed to be that way. Its price tag is going to be hefty, though. It's supposed to be like $1,200 to $1,500. I'm not real wanting that one. Like, I don't need that one. I want the Valve, like the Steam one, though. That's, yeah. Anyways, like I said, at the beginning of the week, we finished the RPG. And that ended up to be the name, just called the RPG. Right? You got it. You can run around. You can do some quests. You can talk to a couple different people. Not a huge number, but you can talk to a couple of different people, right? I did not come up with information for the information broker. Friend. So you have no info. You are the non-information broker at this time. You finished a project this week too? Nice. What'd you finish? All right, let me restart that. I think we'll just drop over into game screen here. Oh wait, I think I did see it. Your skill tree stuff. Yeah, you put up a video on YouTube if you want to check it out. I did. I saw you. Where did I see you post that? GPing your first by proxy? Sure. Brent was first today. Homeless did not get it. Probably on Discord, maybe. Oh yeah, it was on my on the Discord, right? Share your game. Not game. Alright, we're gonna pull it up. Ooh, that's loud. Alright, hold on. Let's pause the music. We're gonna take a look at this. I hate having the ads showing on here. Oh, well. Let's see. On here, GX browser. We'll stretch it a little bit. How's that? It's long though. How long is it? Oh, I mean, it's like 3 minutes. All right, so tell us, Brent, about the skill tree engine. How does it work? And JP, you should have brought Jello shots to work. It would have made the day go faster. Or a passed out Jeepin, whichever one. Unrestricted bottom-up orientation. Either way, true. Okay, dog, welcome in. So you can just drop into any project. It lets you build skill tree of any size and add any amount of trees. You can customize it greatly. Nice. It's like the door system that you provided. Yeah, nice. Okay, I understand that. And let's see, you can learn abilities, get stat bonuses from leveling up your skill node. Yeah, that looks like it looks really cool. You know, what is it called? I think it's a game jam or whatever, but it's every year, and it's called like the kitchen or kitchen something game cookbook or something like that. But it's for people that are making add-ins to help with stuff. So like the door feature, system that OK Dog had done. Your sort of confetti engine. This would go well with there. This is going to have, I'm thinking this is going to have some sort of skill tree system to it, right? I don't know, what or how I want it to be, but it will be there. So I guess today we're going to talk a little bit about how we want to take the project. Nice. This is almost kind of what we're looking at making right here, like a top-down shooter. So cool stuff. And I don't know if you saw, Japin, I was talking about the Steam box. I'm getting excited for its release. I am. And the funky covers you can put onto it. Yeah. I know. When it comes out, we'll get one. Well, you know what? Good question. I'm excited for something I don't even know when it's launching. This year. Hardware, Steam. Do they have a launch date? Easy, welcome in. Yeah, Brent's really good at putting together these engines that help with other people's projects. Updates, news, and launch info. Okay, let's go check out this. I know it's coming in this year, and I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like a spring launch. Release window early 2026 by March. It may be March, but I mean, anywhere right there, spring, right? So March, April, May, something like that, I think is fine. And like I said, I'm looking forward to it because the whole thing is an upgraded system. So upgraded Steam Frame, which is the VR set. Yeah. It'll be cool. So that is on our list to get. And the best thing is, like I said, you can install other apps, right? Because it's a PC. And just like they say, you can optimize. It's optimized for gaming, but you can still install your own apps if you want, another operating system, and do all kinds of stuff with it, right? And thank you for the follow. Oh, and a Sophie treat. Oh, that didn't run. Shit. Hold on. I was wondering why I didn't hear. I knew I forgot something this morning. Let me get that turned on. I need a swear. Uh-oh. I need a swear jar. All right. I do need a swear jar. Do you know how much money, like, it would be my money going into it, but, like, I need a swear jar. There. All right. Now the avatars are running, which is my own app. It was a project at the beginning of summer that I did. But on there, it also controls a couple different things. So it controls celebration, sunflower launch, random avatar, and Sophie treat, who's getting excited because she heard the word now a couple times. That's it. Good girl. Homeless Sophie thanks you. I need a swear jar. I would be able to buy the NVIDIA 5090. I know, right? Outside of stream, I mean, like, okay, I swear a little bit in stream, but like outside of it, I swear all the time. Like I just say it. But I say, damn it so often that the bird, the Quaker parrot, now mimics it and says it. I don't really stream as much as I think I does. Well, I was gonna say I don't. I only, yeah. I do swear a lot, enough for the bird to copy me. Yes, yes. When do I swear the most? Gaming. I swear when we're gaming. I swear when you die in games. And that's probably why I swear all the time. Because you are always dying. All right. So, what are we looking at for a new game, right? Well, it's going to be a top-down shooter. Kind of like the one we saw in the video that you had, Brent. I don't really know. I go into these things and I don't have any kind of like direction. We're just like, we're going to make this. Llamas that shoot baddies with their spit. I mean, we could put a llama in there. Yes. Right? So, what I have done is I brought over a room, couple objects, and the player, like the robot, the enemy, that kind of stuff. It was brought over from one of my first game jams that I did. Was in 2024 when I pretty new to all this stuff, right? I did one called Droid Shooter. Yeah, my nose is running today. So it was called Droid Shooter, right? It was a 48-hour game jam. It had a starting menu. It has one level, and it has like your player, your little robot with a cannon on the top of it. You have to shoot these like droid heads, right? That was it. There was only like 6 enemies. You could move around, you shoot it, and then when you're done, it says, "Oh, you win," and that was it. That was the game, right? 48 hours. One of my first ones that I ever did, and that's kind of what we're gonna take and move forward, right? I guess the idea is, how do I want to show this? Good old paint. Yeah. All right. Essentially, I guess what I'm thinking, right, is we're going to have like, it's just going to be a repeating pattern. So, I don't know, you'll have like level, right? But then in between here, you'll have a menu system. And during that time, you're going to pick like skills, if I can write. Skills, right? So we got to have skills. So you're going to be able to pick new skills. Weapons. So you're going to be able to upgrade your weapons. And maybe, like, after you finish the first, like, wave, you'll have these things in, like, little cards that you'll be able to choose from for your skills, and it'll say it. Then you can pick, and then it'll say it for the weapons, and you can pick. You're going to have something, some sort of like currency, cost stuff inside the level, right? Stuff that pops out when from playing and killing the enemies. Maybe something drops and that's what you collect. I don't know, something like that, right? And then when you're upgraded, right, in between each one, it will go to another level. And then, like, a repeat. That is going to be the game loop, right? You go in, you have a level, you got to complete it, destroy all the enemies. That's another thing I don't think about. Just like the RPG. One, the RPG didn't even have a good name. It had a name called The RPG. Two, there was no real story. You were just an adventurer back in town. I don't have a story to this either. We could build one, though. I think that'd be fun. We could come up with the story maybe as we go, right? Like, why are you in this scenario? Like, why do you have to keep defeating these things? Are you trying to get out of a dungeon? And these are just levels inside a building, right? Oh, what if we did that? Like, all right. What if we had, like, this, right? But All right. I want this. I was just copying the whole thing. All right, whatever. Let's say at the end of every round, right? And ignore my wonderful drawing of circles. What if it's like a maze? Right? And your job, then welcome in. Is this a personal challenge? It is. I know a couple other streamers do like 100-day challenge. This is basically 90. So it's 3 months long. Personal challenge that I have set that I've been doing since May of last year. I did the Avatar one for 3 months. I did a tower defense for 3 months. Then we did the RPG game, which we just finished at the beginning of this month. And this is day one of doing a top-down shooter. However, this will be the last 3-month project for a little while. After this, for 6 months, I want to revisit the RPG. And then really take it to the next level, right? Thanks. I appreciate it. And thank you for the follow. Okay, so the idea... okay, Doug, I inspired you with your 90-day challenge for the RPG, so you're currently making your own 2026 100-day project. Nice. Is it Steve? There's a couple other streamers that do 100-day challenges, right? And mine is just shy of that. It's a 3 month, so it's 90-day challenge. I just figure because of the way the year is and splitting it up in 3 months works pretty good. That's it. There's no other reason for it. But that is awesome that you're going to be doing that. I forget, like, are you planning to stream it at all? Are you going to do any anything like that with it? In a real-time strategy RPG would be fun. What if we did this, right? So for here, what's a good color? We'll go back to, I don't know what's a good one to show on here. We'll do green, right? Okay, let's say you start here. So you're in here, right? That's you. Then at the end of the level, you can choose a direction to go. You can either like go up or this way, right? Now you are in a maze, basically, right? And then with each one, you can only go forward. You can't go back to the room you were just in, though. Like a little door gate closes. Right? So then as you go, you have to choose how you want to be, right? The idea, I guess, is let's say you're trapped and you have to find your way out. And maybe like, I don't know. Like up here is the way out. So you got to fight your way through and figure it out. I don't know. Something like that. What if we did? I mean, that might be neat. Like an idea behind a little bit of a story for this, right? And that could work. And like I said, as a game loop, it would be the room, right? So you have your room. And then it goes to a little menu, and you pick new skills. And then it'll switch, and you can pick new weapons, right? And once you do that, then it is ready to go into the next, like, you can continue. I think you'll be able to sell stuff because eventually you're going to be like, oh, I don't want that skill. What if I like a different weapon, right? Or I don't like the weapon I have, but I want to change it. Like, do you pick a new one and it removes one if you have too many? So I don't know, if you hold 4, right, and you are maxed out, you have to get rid of one to upgrade. We could do something like that, right? And this whole thing is for whatever the story is of you and why you are trapped and why you are trying to get out. Yeah. And I think that would be good. And then, I don't know, we could make it so that, I don't know if randomly generating the rooms is the best way to go, or pre-generating, like pre-making all the rooms. But then it's a defined size of a grid, which is fine too. And every so often, like, you could do like here could be a tougher room. Let me find a different shape. Like there is a tough room, the little stars, right? Those are good. You could do that, or the rooms are picked. Okay, so let's say the rooms are pre-made, right? But maybe not the enemies that go in it. Right? Because let's say you go to here, right? You don't want this to have like high level enemies in it if you're still only a level 1. So maybe you could make it so that as you progress, the rooms generate the enemies based upon the level that you're in. Okay, Brent, you just thought of a cool story element to this. Is that at the end of some levels, you could receive a distress beacon from a level that's not in your path. Oh, okay, so you can choose to follow it or keep going, right? So maybe you are, like, somebody else is in trouble. All right, don't generate the rooms. It's much easier to pre-make, and instead put dynamic spawn points. Okay. Now, what if, like I said, you want it so that they're not generating low-level enemies if you are low-level, right? If you hit, like, 1 through, I don't know, if you're level 1 through 3, then you get that type of enemy, you know, but as you level up, the enemies become tougher, right? They're stronger. Or it could be a combination of both. They get a little tougher and maybe just more of them. Could be something like that too. I like the idea of the beacon. Like, I don't know. Let's say we move and we're like here now, right? says, "Oh, you're getting a I don't know, call for help, but it's here, and you were planning to go this way. So you can either choose to go and help them, right? Like you're saying, Brent, or go about your way." I think that's cool. Yeah. What else? You just thought of something else to add to it? Okay. What'd you think of? Then you could do several different kind of game scenarios. True hostage rescue, VIP escort, bomb defusal, item retrieval, boss assassination, all those. Oh, so yes, you could do the hostage one to merge with Brent's idea. Say somebody is captured, right? And they're inside here with you, but you need to go and rescue them. Oh, and what if you rescue them? They become like a backup support for you. Yeah, and you could do different things than like the bomb defusal. That would be pretty good. All right. Perhaps events spawn on the map and they each have a lifetime value. It could be like 3 or 4 lifetime, right? So every time you finish a level, that lifetime value decreases by 1. True. So if there's a treasure 3 spaces away with a life 4 and a distress beacon 2 spots away with life 4, you can't get them both. True. That would be a good way to make a choice in the game. Where do I go? Right? All right, we're going to save some notes here. All right. I like that. I like it because it makes you have to choose, right? So, like you said, if we have, I don't know, if you're right here, right, and we have someone here and someone over here, or let's make it like this, 2 spaces away, right, and they have a life counter of 3 for each of those. So this one has 3 and that one has 3. You can only choose the one. Yeah. Brett, if you have never met Brent also is a game developer that streams and also works in GameMaker. I like that. Yeah, I think this is good. And this could fit into your idea with like a hostage rescue scenario, right? Let's say one of them is a hostage scenario where the person is captured and you have to go and rescue them. If you rescue them, maybe they become like your sidekick, right? They are there and they go through with you now for the rest of it and they help you. So now you have a little extra firepower, right? Yeah. sure, you can have ones that be like, oh, okay, this one's just really long, so you can do this event, then this event. So maybe you have like event here. Yeah, because you have to give it like the reason for it. So yeah, that would be like the high priority, low priority, that kind of stuff. And something that explains it. So I don't know, maybe there's a mini map that shows up. And on the map, you can see these little circles or rooms, like the little squares, whatever we want to do it, right? And maybe the room will start to show a countdown number on it. Bennett, you've been doing hobby gaming deving in GameMaker Studio on and off for about 25 years. That's a long time. I appreciate you being in. I am nowhere near that. I am almost 2 years into game dev. Yep. Almost. February is 2 years for me for starting the whole learning the program, game dev stuff, and using GameMaker. You know. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you got started. Yeah, I wish this was around when I was 12, but I'm late to the game, but that's all right. I never really got into making my own games. I always was the map maker ones, right? Or like using Neverwinter Nights, making my own sort of game through there, but not like whole coding stuff from scratch on everything. Sophie, can I help you? Was somebody walking outside? Were they? Yes. All right. So we're going to take the initial concept and totally expand upon it, right? So the initial thing, like I said, is this droid shooter, a 48-hour game jam that I did almost 2 years ago. And take it from, expand on it, right? And then we'll have to figure out, all right, well, you're getting skills and weapons. Is there a cost system to it? Sure. Right? Maybe when you defeat the enemy, you get, I don't know, like an essence stone or something, right? And that's your currency. I don't know. What do you think of that, chat? Right? There's some sort of cost to this stuff. It might be a lot. It might be. But, I mean, a lot's not bad. As we progress and do things, we'll end up having to either we can add stuff as we progress, or it will become too much of a scope creep where we have to cut it out. That's kind of the fun part of the challenge, right? You start with a list of things, And then as you go, you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna make it. Kind of like how I did with the RPG. Like I started with like 4 like big areas, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm not gonna make it. So I ended up having to do the grasslands for the town and just one part of the marsh, like the upper marsh, and then the cave. But I couldn't add in the deep marsh or the ancient forest in 3 months. With the amount of time that I spent. So that game was just over 300 hours in 3 months, right? So basically 100 hours per month is what I was able to do. That's on top of, working regular job. Which, gets in the way of everything. It does. All right, so I guess we can just make, a bunch of rooms. And then we'll use the door system that I used in the RPG. That door system was provided by OK Dog, who's also, I don't know if he's still here or not. But that was provided by him. So we'll use that to be able to go between these. And we might be able to use GM Room Loader. You're still here? Yeah, all right. So by the GM Room Loader by Gleb, right? I think that'll be a good one. Yeah, and I saw Gleb won, was it GameMaker Awards for the Room Loader? I saw that he won that. All right. What else? Right, so each of these is going to have enemies. Let's open up this. All right, we were talking about enemies drop. All right, so that's currency, and then we were saying, okay, each enemy is equal in XP. All right, so every enemy has an XP to it, right? That'll help to level the player. Then we had next. Oh, they can choose the room. Choose direction of next room. And I think that's where, like, we'll have, like, your door system, right? Teleports between the rooms. Yeah, so we use that because I really liked it, and it works really, really nice inside the RPG. What else? So you choose the direction. I made it into a system you just provided with the very basic struct. Yes. Yeah, but it got me started on it. So Yep. All right. What else are we trying to? All right. So you can choose the direction of the next room. Between rooms is a menu where player picks new skills and weapons. Rooms, or how do we want to say it? Events occur randomly with life timer. So player needs to get to event before timer runs out. Otherwise, the event vanishes. You could do a hostage event where you rescue rescue new person, a person, right? That person joins your team. All right. Here's one thing that you think is very important: window size control. All right. Let's look at game idea, like stuff that we have to add. So the RPG has only two sizes, either the current size that it's set to or full screen. There's no in between. But it'll adjust to whatever your full screen is, like whatever your size is. Yeah, so game setting stuff, right? We want ability to resize the game. Yeah, I mean, if I put this up, right, and we go to the RPG, here, when I run it, you only have the option of whatever it's set to, which is this, which is stretched on the screen a little bit, but you only have this, or full screen, and that was it. Which looks weird on stream because I'm not capturing the whole size of my screen. Right? So we have two things. We have ability to resize the game. Maybe standard size and full screen. Right? Yeah. So we'll use that. What other? I mean, we'll have a volume control somehow, slider, or yeah, something, right? ability to resize the game. Standard size, maybe, and full size. So we have 2. Window management is a lot better these days. Before the Studio Edition, it was a lot more trouble, something to get right. Current system can be a bit confusing to get into, but once you understand it, it's a lot easier to work with than the old days. Yeah, I've heard, I mean, like, when they hit making it like Studio 2 or something, it all became a lot easier than it was. I've only it's just called GameMaker now. It's not even Studio 2, but that's the only version like I know is the new one. So what else are we thinking? We have a hostage event or some sort of event that occurs. This forces the player to have to make a choice. Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. Ads have just went off. I don't really need a break on this one. So we're just going to kind of hang out. Let's do chess while we're on ad break. Where is the browser? There. All right. Ad breaks are about 3 minutes. There's only like 2 minutes left anyways. So we're not going to take a break on this one. Like, I'll be right back. On the next one, I will, because I'll have to uncover the bird. All right, these are chess puzzles. For anyone that's not in ads, we have to solve them, right? The bot said, Blunder, can I find a way to checkmate it? Bot is white. We are going to be on black. All right, so I see this as one move, right? Just one. What we're going to do is we're going to take the queen from h4 to h2 here. Okay. That will block here. So h1 and f2. And the king cannot kill the queen because of my knight. And it can't go here because of the knight. All right. Try to get in one more. Checkmate is coming. Do you see the way to win? What are we on? We're on white this time. If we go here, that might be our first move to there. They made the mistake of moving their queen here, so we're going to capture their queen. Oh, that was it? I just had to block my checkmate. Sometimes I don't know exactly what the puzzles want. I just play it until it's like, you win. I'm like, okay. All right, ads are done. Let's close off chess, come back to it. So we were saying we have the menu between the rooms, right? Yeah. And as an example, I do have a room that I made, right? Like I said, this, I took some of the stuff from the Game Jam to bring over. So we'll run it real quick. I think it's loud though. All right, so this was the simple game that I had made before, right? Interesting. Why is it showing up twice? Oh, I know why. All right, let's switch back to this screen. All right, so the idea is you're running around, you're avoiding the enemies. Don't let them touch you, right? You have to shoot them, but when it's done, maybe a door will open here and like there, depending on which way you want to go. And then as a player, you have to decide that, right? This was it. This was my little thing. Yeah, Smash TV, I did. I haven't seen it in a long time. I may have to look it back up. Oh, and I wonder if I have it. Oh, I got the coolest thing for Christmas. It is a micro, like super small little Nintendo, right? But on there, it has it has 620 games on it. And I wonder if Smash TV is on the list. Yeah, it's really cool. It looks like a little Nintendo, regular Nintendo. And it has, the Nintendo style controllers. But yeah, it's built in with 620 games. Yeah, this is the controller, like a regular little Nintendo controller, right? You have one of those? Nice. Yeah, it's cool. And then it connects through HDMI. No, wait, it went through audio video on mine. Not HDMI, audio video. So it's neat. I was playing like Contra the other day and Mario Brothers. So I'll have to look on it to see if it has Smash TV. Because that would be a good one to replay for this style, right? And essentially all I was thinking about was... Let's fix this. My GameMaker never likes to stay the same size. Every time I either run a game or do stuff, it changes the size of my screen. Like the IDE, and totally messes up my work area. All right, so this is it, right? The idea, I think, is we'll make like a door here and a door there, and you just go between rooms, right? And depending where it is in the map will depend on how many doors there are. You're going to come in through one, and then that will reclose, so you can't go backwards. You can only go forward in the game. I think that'll be good, right? the reason I kind of brought some of this over was just to give us an idea for it, right? The other thing I kind of liked was how the mouse controlled the shooting. And I guess we got to think about controls. I didn't even think about that until right now. All right. I like mouse keyboard. But I think the game would do well for controller support. Right? And what should our keys be? Yeah, like, okay, so let's say we have both, right? Do we want what looks like a control pad here? Nothing really. Guess we can do this. So this will be like your WASD stuff, right? So that's how you're moving. WASD on the keyboard. Then also maybe left click. That's the mouse, right? There's my buttons. So we're going to say like left click here. And that's how we'll move around on this, right? Yeah. All right, let's switch, go back to this. No, wait, I need to be on this screen for this. There we go. All right, so WASD to move the player, with left click to fire, right? Now the question is, if you have multiple weapons, right? If you have 2 to 4 weapons, I don't know. Does that mean you have like 2 to 4 like different arms, different weapons on you? Do you swap out between the weapons? Or if you have like 4 arms, all right, so if you have 4 arms and you got 4 weapons, do they all fire at once? You're not controlling them individually. You're just firing in the direction of the mouse, right? But if this is keyboard, right? On controller, you would have a joystick, right? Let's look at this. All right, so controller, right? You have 2 different joysticks. 1, 2. So this would be your direction. This would be your aim. and trigger is your fire, right? There. Let's see. In Vampire Survivors, they fire at once, but they have conditions, like whether they fire in different directions or disappear for a few seconds after hitting some enemies. Yeah, they could have each weapon will have different stats. Maybe it's a burst rate, right? Maybe it fires 5 shots at once, has a cooldown, so it doesn't fire again for a little bit. Maybe one is like a scatter gun. Maybe one's a laser. Maybe one is, I don't know, you're throwing a wrench and it's just, you can keep throwing it. I don't know. But I kind of like them all firing at once. I think that saves a lot of extra time. And the weapon just does what it's supposed to. Maybe they have a condition where a weapon fires at a certain enemy if the health is above, I don't know, 50%. It will target that one first. Or a weapon too close to, or an enemy that is too close, a particular weapon will fire at that one first. That way, when you're playing, you have weapons going, like, firing in all different directions, which I think just adds to it. Oh, all right. Let's add on here another set of little options. And let's call it items. Right? Now, you can pick maybe one item per round, like per room. You're like, okay, I want a turret, like a fire turret. I don't know, right? And then in the room, you place the turret, and it will have a fire thrower style or something like that, right? And maybe you could stay behind it. It'll help you, but it lasts for only so long, and then it and then it vanishes. Or some sort of bomb, something. How long when you're in the rooms, right? Should it be controlled by a countdown? Or the room stays active in the room? So when you're fighting, like, should there be a countdown? Or like, so if you complete the clear the room in the time allotted, you get like extra points. If you don't, you just get a normal set of points, right? So either way, you still have to clear the room of all the enemies. Yeah, I know. I don't know. Like, I don't know if the room just has a certain set of enemies, I mean, it could be a challenge, not like a cutoff on the room, right? So it could be the challenge is clear the room in this amount of time, and you'll get extra skill points. If not, you just get this, like another instead of, I don't know. Let's say you get 5 skill points on a room, right? If you complete it in a certain amount of time and defeat all the enemies, then you get like 8. But if you miss the time frame, you just get your 5. But to get out of the room, you have to clear and get rid of all the enemies. Right? Hold on, Soph. There's just people walking out there. So I think we'll have to think about that. So let me put it into our list. And then we'll have to think about it. All right, so timer on each room. Clear before timer ends. More points. Yeah. Maybe it's money or like essence stones, something. There needs to be something there that you also have to do, not just kill enemies. Run around, collect something. So we'll need that. Each room has a total number of enemies. To pick up a bunch of money, and you get a high score at the end. But if you go down that route, you could get rewards or buy things based on what you're able to pick up. So if we're picking up money, crystal, whatever we're going to call it, right? Some sort of currency. Where do we use it? Is the money used to buy items, right? Or is it a combination? Maybe you can buy items, weapons, new skills. And that way, you have to use that to get it versus one only picking one thing out of each, right? So if you have the money to buy 2 weapons, you can buy 2 weapons. Yeah, okay. So let's plan to try to use that, right? Let's do a cost. Currency setup for skill tree, right? Buy your skills. Could do that. Can also maybe do it for each one. So maybe items, weapons, and skills. Or maybe the weapons you just can only hold 4. And if you have 4 and you want another one, you got to get rid of one. I think that would work, right? Yeah. Oh, and maybe we could do it that way. Yeah. Sell you items, right? Maybe it's not on the menu. Maybe when you complete this, a enemy or a little person shows up to sell you stuff. You could do that. Versus in between on each of the menus. That just sells just the items. Or weapons, maybe. Tris, welcome in. We are game planning today, starting a new 3-month game challenge for a top-down shooter. So we have been talking about how we want it to lay out, what some of the objectives are, what are some of the rewards for the players and stuff like that. So that's where we're at. I hope your Saturday's going well. All right, so shop is a there. Yeah, and the idea is this is, like I said, it's going to be a top-down shooter. You're going to start in a room, and so far we have why are you here, right? You have to escape, and it's going to be a whole bunch of rooms that you can get to get out. But you have to choose a direction out of the room, right? So the first room you start in maybe it may have 2 exits, and you can only pick one. And then once you pick that, the door closes, and you can't get back through it. I think that works, right? And then it's going to have both keyboard and controller support. You're going to be able to pick skills, weapons, and items. And there'll be events occurring in different rooms. Jeepin. How's work going, Jeepin? I love... Is that Silver's? Yeah. Her new emotes. The little astronaut stuff. All right. What else? Do we feel should be in it? Like, does the number of enemies keeps going up based upon your level? Right? So as you gain XP and you level up, right? The enemies go up too. Is it just their toughness? Or maybe it just stays sort of the same, right? But the number of enemies keeps going up. Maybe a combination of the two. Maybe sometimes it's not tougher enemies, it's just more enemies. Some reason all you can see is tic-tac-toe. Well, we can do, you got X, O. It's kind of, well, it's more like a Connect 4 game, right? Not really tic-tac-toe. It's Connect 4. These are the slots. You have the little, like, circle thing, the chip you drop in at the top, and it comes all the way down. And then you got to connect 4 of them in a row. Yeah. I don't know if you ever played that game. I like that. I like playing that. I think we actually have a little version of it that you can play it like on the table and stuff. Connect 4. Yeah, it was this. That's exactly what I drew. I drew a Connect 4 box. Yep. Oh, well. All right. Outside of that, what other suggestions do you all have for the game? Right? I think we kind of established we're going to have skills, weapons, and items. We'll have to start thinking about, like, what kind of items, what kind of weapons, and what kind of skills we want. And we're going to use Brent's skill tree loader stuff, right? Which will be this. And so we'll have like points that you can, currency that you can, like, I don't know, spend to buy your skills as you go up. So we're going to use that. The idea is you're trapped and you're trying to get out. And there's going to be events that will happen that help guide you in a direction. However, there's going to be like 2 events that occur at any time, right? And you'll have to choose which one to get to because you're not going to be able to do both. Brent, yes. Yeah, I was showing it. Saying, I think this is what we're going to be using, right? Like, your skill tree engine is going to fit perfectly into this. And we're going to use OK Dog's door system for teleporting between it, like the rooms. Yeah. So, what else do we think we want to try to get in? Now, I say that, but this is only 3 months. We always start off with a big list, and then we have to whittle it down as we go. Because part of the project, or the challenge, is to not have scope creep. Because it's you hard cut and say, it's only going to be 3 months, and that's it. So there's going to be stuff that we'll have to cut and say, we can't have this or can't do it this way. And that's kind of the part of the fun, right? Coming up with the challenge. And thank you for the follow. All right. What else? When you all in chat, when you play top-down shooters, what do you like in it? Let's find elements of stuff that we like. So, first-person shooter. I don't think there's no real way to do a first-person shooter. Sort of. You're like third-person shooter. Yeah, it's a kind of a narrow niche, right? I've never really made one. I did one for a 48-hour game jam where you had to design the game in 48 hours. And that was about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. Maybe a year and a half ago. And I always thought it would be fun to make it and expand upon it. So after this project, the idea is, because I finished the RPG, right? On here, which this is the link for anyone that wants to play it. But this is the RPG game. I finished that in 3 months. And the idea is, after the top-down shooter one, we're going to come back. We're going to revisit this game. And then spend 6 months on it and really expand it. Completely polish it up. Make it look nice. Run around. Do stuff. More biomes. More quests. I mean, you can pet the dog in it, which was the main request. So, yeah, that's what we'll do for 6 months after we do this, complete the 3-month challenge on the top down. But the one thing is, GameMaker does not do 3D very well. It just doesn't. It's there. It does have some sort of ability to do it. Nothing I've read about it is very good. So it's just one of those things, right? Someday, I'll probably have to learn maybe Godot. And that will allow me to do 3D games. And then a first-person shooter would definitely be in it. And I don't know, my first-person shooter would probably do like make Wolfenstein. Or something like that, right? But we'll see. For now, we're in this. What else? All right, so... Okay. Even in the first-person shooter, if you're still there, Trisp, what elements do you find exciting? Because you can always change... It may not be first person, but you can probably still try to keep some of the same elements. Do you like explosions, throwing items, different style weapons, that kind of stuff? Right? So the idea is, in between rounds or in between the rooms, you're going to be able to choose new stuff. You're going to be able to choose, like, upgrade your weapons, different things. You can choose different items. You know, so we have weapons. We're going to have items. And we're going to have skills. That's kind of be the main 3 things. All right. Who did that? Homeless Sophie Treat. Are you? She got out of bed real fast. She was like, "Oh, I want a Sophie Treat." Here, let's fix your camera just a little bit. There we are. All right, Sophie. Good girl. Her camera's a little sluggish. Huh. And the stinkiness. Yeah. Saturday morning toots. It happens. I know. I know. All right, homeless. What kind of items, skills, weapons do you like seeing in games? And let's start writing some stuff down. Items. You like bows? There could be a whole section of bows, right? Because you want ranged weapons, so you could do a bow. You can have like a bazooka or rocket launcher, right? Yeah, it's going to be like a multitude of stuff. So ranged weapons, melee weapons, yeah, so you can have bows, bazooka, like handgun, right? A scythe for melee. Yeah, because we could do like range. And then we'll do melee. Scythe, yep. Could have that. What if we do like add in some fun stuff? I don't know. You have a wrench. You could hit people with a wrench if they get too close, or throw the wrench. Because if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. A bong as a melee. Would that be a one-time use? It's going to break. So I guess it can't be a glass one. It'll have to be something else, right? Not a water one or something. Melee. Bong. All right. It's one of those unbreakable glass ones. Okay. Let's do a wrench. And are we going to make the wrench melee or throwable? If you've never seen the movie Dodgeball, it's hilarious. And if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's a hilarious movie. Oh. What else? All right, so we have bows, bazooka, handgun, scribe, bong, wrench, sword. What other? You enter with a fart. You enter with a fart. You got a 2. Homeless. What else? In term. Hi. Welcome in. we are designing a top-down shooter game, and we're trying to come up with weapons, range, melee, different items you want in the game, skills, that kind of stuff. So we're starting to make a list of things that we think would be fun in the game. So, like, it can be anything, right? We have Homeless suggested a bong for a melee weapon. What about, like, fun things? Yeah, we already have the scythe on there. I can see you hang out with Homeless. What about a frying pan? Then, all right, so knife, bong, wrench, sword, frying pan. Two times 4. Are we going to have the enemies do math? Because that will just, like, instantly wipe them out. They'll be like, I quit. I'm sick of it. Two by 4. Yeah, 2 by 4. So 2 by 4 wood plank. All right. What about, I don't know, I'm just like looking around. Yeah, go Canadian. Wasn't there a wrestler that used it? Long time ago. There was an old wrestler or something that had a 2 by 4. I don't know. We got a frying pan. Tennis racket. That's a good one. Golf club. How about a flail / mace? Right? Because you're going to want a whole bunch of these things. So you're going to want different types. There'll be like different types of each one. That way we can make multiples. Baseball bat. A lathe? Yeah. How about a keyboard? You could whack somebody with a keyboard. That'd be pretty good. All right. What about long range stuff do we have? We have bows listed, bazooka, handgun, taser, laser gun, slingshot, spear, throwing axe, throwing knife, I feel like a spear and javelin, while slightly different, can be used as the same feature. They would just stick to one of those. Blow dart gun, spitballs. All right. How about some items? Do you like bombs? Grenades? I don't know. Turrets? Maybe, like, I don't know, guitar? All right, where is the guitar? All right, where are the musical instruments falling into? Guitar and harp. Is it an item that you place and it automatically plays music and slows the enemy down or something? Or is it a melee weapon? Violin. What are we doing with them? Tuba. All right, so we have music instruments. Are they an item that you get to use? So, like I don't know, harp. Place it and it automatically plays, or an item they get to use as the player, and it creates a slow zone or something like that. I decide. Well, let's put music instruments. And I guess we're going to also need a list of, like, skills. Things that you can acquire and build stat-wise as a player. Ooh, Ninja Star. Ninja Star can go up there. Ninja Star. Oilet Plunger. Excellent. Oh, Medic? Let's put Medic there. All right. Farmer. In a top-down shooter, where would that fall in? Would a farmer... Oh, what if we had, at the very beginning, you can choose what type of person you are, like your class of person. So you have a list of different things, like farmer, medic, logger, lumberjack, right? And each one starts you off with different status, like stats. So many suggestions, I know. But look, like, you can sort of see them. I'm writing here on my notepad. Right, we'll make it a little bigger. Right? Why would you want to be quiet, term? These are helpful things. Yes. And we have some good suggestions out there. We got a toilet plunger, ninja stars. We got some medical stuff. So, yeah, good suggestions. Trisp, you're still here. You're just lurking. I appreciate the lurk. Trisp he's the master lurker. Always appreciated. All lurks matter. Trisp is going fishing now. That's what he's doing. Lurk lives matter. They do. They do. Indeed. All right. What else? Oh, so we were talking. We have. There was a farmer and there was a medic. Do we want people to pick what type of character you are? Like, what is your class, right? And maybe that starts you with certain weapons and certain, it starts you with a certain weapon, skill, item. So let's add that in. So we're going to do classes. Player classes. And so we have medic, farmer. How about lumberjack? Maybe soldier is range, but fighter is melee. To help split those apart, right? What else? Bombs, grenades, turret. We have musical instruments. Skills, maybe some medical stuff. Yet another ZT411 that needs to be replaced. I mean, that's pretty standard for those. I feel like they wait for you to do it because you are small but mighty. Yes. You need to tell your boss. Be like, boss, I need you to get me this automatic lifting little cart so you can put this 50-pound printer onto it and, and not break yourself. Tell him that 8-Bit says you're not allowed to break yourself anymore. So you need an automatic lifting cart. Right? Excellent. All right, on my little list here, let's do here. We're going to write class. Not the learning class. Right? So then you pick your class, then you go to the rooms, then you go to the menus, and then you go back to the room because you got to fight and figure out how to get out of this. That's the point, right? So we have range weapons, we have melee weapons. Basically your two things, right? I see the notification this time. Ads are going to go off in about a minute. When they do, I need to take a peek right back on this one. I have to uncover the bird who's over there quietly talking to herself and muttering, damn it. And then I'm also going to grab some more coffee. Brent, do you have any suggestions for melee weapons, range weapons, items, skills, and classes, player class, right? So I think the idea is now Term came up with some good ideas. Had medic and farmer, and I was like, oh, what if those are classes for the player? So we're gonna do that. So it's like medic, farmer, lumberjack, soldier, fighter. That's what I got so far, right? Each of those will start you with a certain type of weapon, a skill, and an item. And there's the ad break. I will see everybody in a few moments. Hang tight, grab some coffee, whatever you need to do, get up and stretch, and I will see everybody shortly. Be right back. All right. The Stream Deck decided it wanted to restart. And I was like, oh, we're back. So, let's see. Depends on the theme of the game. Well, we're still trying to narrow down what type of theme this is. But, yeah, you kind of want it to fit what we're going for, right? So, for classes, you would only pick one. Well, if we're going to even have a class, I think there should be maybe 4 or 5 at most. That way, as a player, you could pick it and start the game, right? And that's your class throughout the whole game. It's really just going to give you the initial set of weapon, like what weapon you have to start the game with, what item do you start the game with, and what skills, and that's it. Right? So if you're a lumberjack, maybe you start with like an axe. So maybe you start, that kind of stuff. We can add a banjo into the music instruments. We had banjo, we had harp. There was guitar. Let's see. In your demo on Itch Edge of Madness, nice. You have 3 character slots, but even after about 2 to 3 months of working on it, you've barely finished a whole level with just 1 character. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for sure, just like the RPG, to fit this in. So I'm expecting 300 hours is my target. That's what I want to spend on this in 3 months. So 100 hours per month, roughly, between now and the end of the game, like this challenge. So there will be lots of things that we cut out, but it's better to have a bigger list of things now that we can sort of fine-tune and create versus stinking all the time, right? Yeah, we don't want that. Who is that? Term. You're letting out your Saturday morning toots. Homeless was already doing it, so. Yeah. You entered nicely. I know. All right. What? All right, so we have some musical instruments. Let's think of some skill stuff that a player could have in this environment. And the game's going to have, we're going to make it crazy, right? So let's make it off the wall, out of the box ideas. So we're going to have like weapons like a toilet plunger, baseball bat, tennis racket, ninja stars, that kind of stuff, right? Just totally random stuff, because I think that'll be fun. But skills, maybe something medical, so we have that already down here. So medical can include maybe like +1 heals, regeneration, that kind of stuff too, right? Pharmaceutical. That can fall under that. I'm glad you can spell that. Pharmaceutical. What else? Maybe armory skills. What about weapon skills? Stuff to help increase your ability. What else do we want? Stat boost. Oh, how about like XP gain? Brett, in your game, you had an offensive tree, defensive, and utility. Oh, okay. Well, that'd be pretty good. All right, so let's start coming over here and looking at a skill tree concept, right? I think you start off with like one item, right? Here, let's move that back in. Go like that. There we go. All right. So start off with a skill, right? Then it comes up. Maybe like another one. But from here, it starts to branch. Like that, right? And in each one, you could be, I don't know, defense, right? I mean, there's some other programs, but it's quick. I like it. It's fun. That's all. So, we had offensive, right? And then we also had like a utility. There. With each one, like it branches out. Right? But then you have to decide, okay, so if you have a couple skills on each one, right? How does the player choose? Do they say, okay, I want to put a skill point into utility to get this. I want to go into defense. So they're slowly adding points to it all so that maybe by the time they're done with the game, they pretty much have everything, right? I don't know how complicated we're going to be able to make a skill tree inside of the 3 months. You're designing it that way. They'd have to be broad abilities that affect all weapons, you think. Otherwise, you could have smaller tennis racket, ninja star, baseball bat, tree. Yeah. Well, I mean, you could do small stuff, right? So, I don't know, like +1s or extra abilities. And hello, welcome in, Starfish. Yeah, right? Because, and you could also make it so that melee gets like pluses or minuses, or pluses. Range weapons, items can help, but like XP boost, maybe 2-shot for weapons. Starfish, hi 8legs. I'm doing well. How's your Saturday morning doing? Or going? And what's this? Plans for a new game. Yes, today is day 1 of planning for a new game. We've been busy. We've been drawing, trying to identify what we want in it. And we have notes going like crazy already. It is a top-down shooter that's going to have weapons, skills, items. And weapons are going to have like ranged weapons, melee weapons, that kind of stuff. And so we're slowly putting it all together. And we're going to have keyboard support, controller support. And now we're talking about the talent tree. And it's a lot. We're fitting all this, as much of it as we can, into 3 months. That is the challenge. That is the challenge for sure. Yes, we are putting controller in there for you. It's there. This will be a good game to have on it, I think. I think the RPG would have been fun with it, but, it's all right. Didn't make it. But this one will have it. What else? Okay, so we're coming up with everything, right? We're trying to think of some skills. We're trying to think of like different melee weapons, ranged weapons. We're having odd items as well. So like we have blowgun, ninja stars, spitballs. We have a wrench, a sword, a frying pan, a 2x4 wood plank. We have a banjo, flails, mace, keyboard, toilet plunger. Banjo, harp, guitar. We have all kinds of stuff. Right? All kinds of fun things. Because why not? Why not, indeed? I think it's going to be fun. We're going to make it, like, totally fun. So you'll be playing to be like, that's a crazy item to have. I want it. Right? I mean, who wouldn't want to hit somebody with a guitar? I think that'd be cool. Have a little arm flailing around your character with a little guitar in his hands. That'd be cool. Illusions of Grandeur on a 3-month game, but I think it'd be good. Consider tacos. Okay, are we throwing the tacos, or are we just using it like a melee weapon and just like hitting an enemy when it gets close with a taco? Now, the other fun part of all this is finding a asset pack that has all these items in it, right? Or making items. That's going to be fun too. Throw like the ninja stars less work. Okay. So let's make that a ranged weapon. Tacos. Or did you want, we can make tacos like an item, right? And you eat the taco and you gain ability, like a short-term burst of something. We could do that too. You know of an asset pack that lets you do that? Nice. Yeah, this will be fun. Because we're going to make this a off-the-wall fun game in 3 months. Oh, rage because of the hot sauce. Okay, so we're going to move that. That is going down into items. Right? Taco. And rages player because of the hot sauce. Perfect. I think that'll be fun. All right. Oops. Utility, offense, defense. And then we need 2 core ones. Or 1 core. It doesn't really matter. I think we should have, like, shield, offensive. What if you, I mean, like, this could, I mean, like, talent trees can get real extensive, right? What if we had, I mean, like, XP times 2 as a utility one? What if we did, like, range +1, do a melee +1, shield +1, range, how about double shot? Yep. What else? What else? All right. While I'm thinking about it, on here, do you have a link for this? Yeah, okay. On your itch page, Brent. Get some water. Much better. Sophie, who were we grumbling at? People walking past. People walking past. All right. We have all kinds of stuff now. How many rooms do we think we need? like this, like it's a giant Connect 4 screen, like game platform. Do we want it maybe that'd be like 64 if you did 8x8. 6-7. Yeah, it's a 6-7, all right. It's there. It's there. It's 6 and 7. But that's all right. 6, 7, 8, 9. You know. Every generation's got to have their weird sayings, right? All right, so we have, yes, we have 6x7 currently. Well, we got to think about it. All right, so we're going to make each individual room. They could probably get replicated pretty easy. I do, right? So we have multiple things. We could probably have a couple of different styles, or all the rooms could look alike. And if that's the case, then it's easy to continue and make a whole bunch of them. It's been embedded subconsciously. It has. You know what? I was looking up Connect 4. How many are on this? This is why. Look, it's been here all along. Connect 4 is 6x7. It's been there since, like, us old folk are kids. So now, when any of the newbie generations are like 6-7, you can just say Connect 4, and it'll confuse them. They probably never even seen this. No, it's been here all along. Look, it is exactly what I was doing. So Brent, a friend of yours recently asked you what he should do to get started in game dev. You told him to make Connect 4. That'd be great. I made asteroids. Literally. Oh, it's on here. Yeah, so my first game was a remake of Asteroids, which is on here. You can go and Sophie. You can go on there, download it, and play Asteroids. Just my version of it, right? It's just a remake. Hey. Is somebody at the door? Is that the problem? Did somebody come up to the door? Do we have a package? Do I need to look? Are you barking because it's just somebody with little dogs? Is that the problem? And Starfish gave you a treat. There you go. Lay down. Yes, she was barking because of the little dogs. But yeah, Asteroids was the first game that I ever made as an attempt, right? Like I said, you can come on here, you can download it, you can play it. I think I followed a tutorial for it just so I could learn GameMaker and how things are going with it. Big dog syndrome, yes. She wants to herd the little dogs, and she's like, little dogs do not need to be outside. They need to be protected indoors. That's where they go. So she wants to push them around. Yes. She does. She can't help it. It's just her, you know. All right. So, Brett, he did it too. You were impressed. All right. So, your friend did make a Connect 4 game. Nice. What else do we want on here? All right, chat. Who of all out of you have all played top-down shooters? And for the rooms, if we're not generating the room, we're pre-making the rooms, I'm probably not going to design 60 rooms of different looks, right? Maybe. Maybe. We're also going to have to figure out what type of enemies we want. Right? Probably range. Melee ones. Slow. And how about armored? Oh, what about touch, like self-destruct? So self-destruct. Country music. Country music band. Starfish, your only advice is tacos. That's probably still the best advice of the day. Tacos. Oh, what about Jello shots? That can be an item. There. All right, so now we have Jello shots. Oh, hello. Did somebody say Jello shots? We made a bunch of them last night. We made like 24 or so. It's probably more than that. Jello shots. Last night. Yeah, it's definitely more. It's more than 24. But we made 2 types. So looking forward to having that, having some of those tonight. Which we are taking to a game night over at some friends' houses. Because have Jello will travel. Yes. All right. We have range enemies, melee enemies. We have armored, self-destruct, country music band. And yep, Jello shots. Oh, that's a cool little emote for it. And Mandra, welcome in. How's your day? It's nice to see you. We are designing a top-down shooter game. And that's what all this scribble is and the notepad up here. So we're coming up with new ideas and concepts for it. As of Monday, earlier in the week, I finished the RPG project. That was the end of that 3 months. So that is available on the itch page. And now it is a top-down shooter for the next 3 months. Before we move into 6 months of a game, and that 6 months is going to be a revisit to that RPG project, and we're really going to add content, fine-tune it, and make it a very polished game from the 6 months. So I think that'll be a good project, right? Good thing to do. But we're coming up, we have different ideas for weapons, ranged, melee. We have items, skills, and different enemies. We should also figure out what we want as far as our graphic size. What pixel set are we looking at? 32 by 32 is probably a good one. You have an idea for a level progression? Okay. What you got? All right, skills. We have an XP to range +1, +1, +1. Range double shot. We have shield, controller support, keyboard. All right, so you get 2-door at the end where you choose your progression. Yes. So, manager, that's pretty much the direction of what we're thinking, right? So you're on par with it. We've come up with sort of a whole bunch of rooms, right? That's what all these little circles are. When you're in the first one, right? You get to choose which door to go out of. So, you're in the first room, it only has 2 options. You can either go up or to the right. Then here, you're only going to be able to go up or to the right, but when you come in here, one in, you'll be able to go up, right, right or down. The image did bring you to the idea. Nice. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're thinking about for some stuff. Jeep is just working and being super strong and lifting heavy printers, hopefully not by yourself. No breaking yourself. No carts. No, they haven't. I don't even know if she's brought it up to her manager yet. She needs to tell the manager, I need a auto lifting cart for super heavy printers that are 50 pounds. So you don't break yourself. That's kind of how that goes. No carts, but we do have tacos. Yes, we're going to use tacos as an item. So I know it'll take weeks to get one, but you need to get the order in. Just order it. And then be like, I don't know how that got on the order list. I'm not sure. You're the only one there. You got to do the lifting on your own. I know. Which is why you need the cart. Right? Yes, so we have tacos as an item the player can eat. And because it has hot sauce on it, it will send the player into a rage and they do more damage. That is the idea behind the tacos. What if we send, like, they get an extra item, right? So they start off only being able to use one. Now they get two. That could be another skill. Now you want tacos? Might have to DoorDash for lunch? No. Are the food trucks outside of your work? Do they have tacos? They should have tacos. Although I know it's cold out there. All right. We have been making all kinds of notes here. We have an item that we're gonna make. It's a Jello shot. I don't know what it's gonna do yet. There's an idea. Chat, what should we do for a item for the player that's a Jello shot, right? How does it benefit the player? Hamster, welcome in. We're designing a top-down shooter and drawing all over my notepad. Yeah. Right. So today, day one, top-down shooter. We're kind of coming up with everything. We've talked about player classes, like what you start as. That way, when you choose a class, you start with a different item, weapon, and skill to start you. Then you're going to be able to have different weapons. So like range, melee, and it's going to be crazy items. So we have like frying pans, golf clubs, baseball bat, keyboards, toilet plunger. Then we have the like normal stuff like sword, handgun, bazooka, bows, taser, laser gun. Okay, so the player gets a little buzzed, right? Little drunk when you take a Jello shot. What are the benefits of it? Do you take less damage because you're now drunk fighting, and you avoid more hits, right? You avoid the hits. We could do that. Let's put that in. Drunk fighting takes less damage. Well, I guess if you took too many of them, you could puke at your enemy. But let's put a puker as an enemy. And that will be like acid. Right? Like the zombies do. Jello shots make enemies weaker, slower, and kind of wobbly. How does it make the enemies weaker? Do you throw it out there? Like you throw the Jello shot on the ground and the enemies go and eat it? Like a tray full of Jello shots? And, Hamster, your game gave me the idea for the rooms, right? Which kind of looks like a Connect 4 game, right? So Connect 4, the grid, right? Like this. Your game sort of gave me the idea of how rooms are connected. You got to have like multiple rooms, right? Has a room grid plugin. Nice. Yeah, so the idea is you go from, like, you start in room, right? And then in there you have only 2 exits, either up or left, to the right. And then each one will only be able to go certain directions. And then once you do that, you'll be able to sort of navigate your way through this. So the idea is you got to get out. You're trapped. Yeah, and so does Gleb. Gleb has the GM room loader stuff, which I may use. I think would be a good one for this. It helps quickly load the room up. The other ideas we have is while you are in here, so let's say you're here in the middle, right? On nearby, you're going to have events. They're going to appear on your little map and say, there's an event here, there's an event there. Then here, like, an event will have a life counter timer, right? Meaning, like, how long the event lasts before you can get to it. So if you're in the middle and you got an event here, and they have a life timer of 3, you're only going to be able to get to one of them. There's also the possibility that you'll run into a room that has a hostage, and you have to rescue them. If you rescue them, they become an extra person to you with simple weapons that you give them, and they will follow you around and help. Gleb, yeah. Grog pitches a lot, but it was Gleb. So he won the award for it. Where is my itch page? I can't remember his full name, so I can't look it up. But oh wait, where did I see that? I saw that on here. Or was it in where did I see the GM award stuff? Trailers, most liked. Yeah, so I forget where I saw it. It may have been in on GX Games itself. But yeah, Gleb won the GM awards, the GameMaker awards for best product or whatever it was. I forget what it is, but he won it. You think you're buying Brent Brothers skill system next week. So, like for this, because I'm planning to use it as well. And I don't know if Brent's still here or is falling asleep. But I plan to use that as well. Right? Watched it in the stream a couple days ago. Brent, you're barely hanging on, but you're about to go to sleep in a bit. Just so you know, a lot of people like the skill tree engine. They do. Yep. Who has said that? Well, Hamster's interested in getting it as well. Right? So here it is on the itch page. Yeah, you have a lot. I mean, like, it has a lot of stuff to it. You really spent time with it. So, well worth purchasing if you are doing skill trees in your game. Right? That is always so bright when I come into this. I think it'll work well for this. And like I said, I was planning to use Gleb's room loader on here. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Is it GX Games? Let me see. Hold on. Oh. Let's see. GameMaker Awards. Oh, where are you? You're not sure you can insert it into your NES Legend of Zelda style game, but perhaps the next one. You might be able to. Here it is. All right. Let me bring this down. And best tool winning the GameMaker Awards for 2025 is Best Tool GM Room Loader by Gleb. I don't know how to say his last name, but Gleb. And this is it, right? It really helps if you have multiple rooms and you need to like load them up fast. So if anybody's interested in that, this is Gleb's thing. Let me look up. I know I have it, Gleb. That is not how his Twitch name is spelled. Well, nope. All right. Anyways, this is it, right? So this, along with your thing, Brent, I think are going to be the two main things that I want to use for this. So I think it'd be good. Good idea. Yeah, Brent, if you're doing a skill tree thing, your skill engine is probably an absolute, right? You need to have it. It'll help out drastically with a lot of the workload. So, where were we? We were looking at some items, skills, enemies, weapons, trying to think of a little bit of how a skill tree should look. I'm trying to keep it fairly basic, right? I only have 3 months as this challenge. Right? So the idea is you have like your base skill, and then it'll go up. And these are going to be fairly generic skills because there's going to be so many weapons, and like it's going to be hard to make a skill tree based upon any weapon that you have. But some ideas that I was like, oh, like an XP times something, right? So XP times 2, whatever. Range +1, melee +1. We could do like a damage, increased damage. Plus whatever, 1. Double shot. Shield. We could do an extra item, so instead of you only starting and being able to start with 1, you can now hold 2 items. I think this would be good, right? So you start off, you get to pick your class, then you go in and you start right into a room. It'll be nice and easy, simple, whatever. After that, then your initial menu system will be there, right? On skills, weapons, items you need to upgrade, buy stuff, whatever. So that'll be one of the next things for it, right? I feel like most of the time, streaming is the most talking I do all week. Outside of meetings at work, like my day is quiet. I don't have to sit there and talk. Which this week has been really nice because like earlier in the week on Monday afternoon, I had my rear tooth had to get pulled out. So they extracted that tooth, and the jaw's been a little sore most of the week. Still a little sore. Like I can feel like the spot they pulled it out from. And it's weird. I'm not used to it yet. All right. What else? What other attribute or part to a game do we feel should be in a top-down shooter? Oh, we were thinking of resolution stuff, right? I think based on like the pixels, right? I think starting this based off of a 32 by 32 would be a good size for it. I don't want to go smaller than that on the pixel blocks. I just think it's hard to design and draw things with less than that. You can do it, no problem, but like it's still a little tough. So I think we're going to do this as 32 by 32. I'm not sure what camera resolution we want to start the game at, but we can figure that out. Also, I see the notification ads are going to go off again. I don't need any more coffee. So I think we'll play, do a chess puzzle. Yep. While we're in ads. So, since ads are about to go off, let's switch and do that. Where are you, browser? Okay. Let's minimize that out of the way. This is it. So we're going to go into ads, playing some chess. We're just doing puzzles. So if you're not in an ad, feel free to help and try to solve the puzzle. We just finished this one. We're going to start this one. The bot is on black. We're white. The idea is checkmate. And that's it, right? So, where do we want to go? There's the king. If we come out and we just take this pawn, that's not going to work because there's nothing protecting it. I feel like we need to go here. And what will that do? That will force the king up. Well, no, it won't be able to. That might be it. That might be the choice. So the idea is if we go to d5, which is right here, the king cannot move here because of the queen. The king cannot take the queen because of this pawn. The king cannot move up because of this pawn and can't go this way. So there's nothing that will be able to block the immediate path of the queen to the king. And that is it. So now we're on black, they're on white. The king just moved. We need to move. Well, I think a safe bet would go here. Then, because the king cannot move forward at all. So if we go there, oh, that was correct. I had to give up my queen because I can take the queen. But now I need to find a way to win the rook. I should have been paying attention. We have to get this rook. So that's next. Had to sacrifice the queen to get the queen. But that's not too bad, right? Oh, we're back. All right, we're going to finish up this last chess puzzle, and then we'll get back to things for a little bit. So, if you know chess, feel free to suggest something, but it says find a way to end the game with a checkmate. Okay, so we're on black. No, we're white. The bot is on black. We need to end this. I think the idea is we take our queen. Well, this queen is blocking the row. If I move a pawn to here, the pawn is protected by this pawn. It will force the king to move into this. So let's do that first. And that was it. Okay. There was a couple more moves there, but that was it. So that was the end of that puzzle. All right. Now, where are we? This is kind of our map of stuff that we're planning, right? Does anybody have suggestions or things they would like to see in a top-down shooter game? Well, let's think. If we try to go with our flow of the game, we're going to be starting with our classes, right? And we're only going to make maybe 4 or 5 because I don't want to have a whole lot. Then, how many weapons should a player hold? Right? I was thinking like 4 little arms or something or whatever. I guess it could be 4 and have 2 out and 2 on your back. And as you're firing and doing stuff, they all have delays, and so it's just switching weapons all the time. Or just like 4 arms, and it holds all 4 of the weapons at once. Or we could just make it standard with like 2. I have no story for why the player is inside this dungeon system and you got to get out. No idea. So eventually we'll need to have some sort of story and come up with something with that, right? But skill tree, we're going to try to keep it simple. We don't want anything real extensive, I don't think. But I guess as we progress and start designing that, that'll come about. Overall, I think this is a good start for a top-down shooter project, right? Like I said, it's 3 months. It's just going to be a good project. Yeah. All right. What else? I think we're gonna stick with the 32 by 32. That'll be a good one to use. Yeah, I think that's all good. I think we're gonna call it. My jaw's a little sore from the tooth being pulled out and talking this much. Like I said, this is more talking than I've done all week. So I think this is a good spot. We have our direction on what we're going to be doing. So tomorrow, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, same digital time, same digital place. We're going to start working on some stuff. I'm going to be spending some time today trying to get the basics set up, and then we'll go from there. But let's see who is all on this morning. And then I can give my jaw a rest for a little while. Like I said, it's a little sore. So let's see who's on. Everybody's playing a game. Do we have anybody not playing a game? You know what? We have not raided into Two Nerdy Nerds in a while. We're always missing them. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, folks. I appreciate you hanging out. And yes, I'm surprised I've been able to chat so much too. But yeah, it's a little sore back here. So let it rest. I'm going to work on some stuff, maybe play some games today. And then, of course, tonight, hanging out with some friends and having some, Jello shots. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think we're playing like Magic the Gathering or something. Anyways, thanks for being here. Let's go visit Two Nerdy Nerds and see what game they're working on. And I will see everybody tomorrow morning, same digital time, so 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and for more day 2 top-down shooter adventures, right? Have a good one, folks. I will talk to you all later.